Today, we are going to be answering some of your questions. We're going to go and unlock the mailbox and give you the answers to our questions.
Yeah, we got some of these questions on Instagram, and I'm going to go through them, and, you know what I mean?
Yes.
We're going to answer them. Have a little fun here. Q&A podcast with Unlocking the Magic. That's Constantina. I'm Bruce. We're here with you every week. We do this little podcast. We talk about, what do we talk about? All kinds of stuff. Universal, Disney, cruises.
Not sure if we really have a format going.
We don't. We talk about like fun stuff.
Yeah, that's what at least I like to say.
All right, so you ready?
It's fun for me.
So these questions were from Instagram. So shout out to the people who follow us over on Instagram, Unlocking the Magic Podcast. You can go check us out over there. But these questions were submitted, and pretty good ones here. Are you ready?
So what I want to do is, I think there was a point in time where you took over Instagram.
I did an Instagram takeover. I was like, you know what? This is Bruce from Unlocking the Magic. Usually Connie here runs the Instagram.
No, it's equal.
No,
I think you can tell who's posting what.
You can definitely tell who's running the Instagram by what we post. But I said, this is me. Ask me anything. Bruce here, I'll answer whatever you got. So these are all the questions from that.
I just want to make a note, too, that also applies to Facebook. I feel like by now, if you listen to the show regularly, if you're new, maybe it's still difficult to determine who's who. But if you are a regular listener, I think on any social platform, you can kind of tell who's who at this point.
For sure.
Maybe that will be our post. Like, guess who posted this?
That's true.
Okay.
I feel like they know.
All right.
First question is from Travel Geek. When's the next podcast? Right now. Here you go.
Hi.
All right, next one. That was actually a question.
Oh.
I think we missed a week, and people get in their routine of listening to the podcast, and if you miss a week, it's like, oh, I want that episode to come out. There's a YouTube channel that I follow, and if they don't put out an episode, it's usually on Thursday nights, and if they don't put out the episode on Thursday nights, I'm like, what happened? Where is that episode? I look forward to it like a TV show.
Well, that's nice to hear. I hope that everyone looks forward to ours, but I know that we release ours, and then sometimes if we're working on a longer show, it takes a while, so we don't get necessarily it out there, or sometimes if there's a holiday, we don't get it out.
Yeah, we try to do one every week.
But we try to be very consistent, and I think...
For 10 years, I feel like we've done it.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, next question. What's the one ride you think Disney should never change, overlay, or retheme?
What is the one ride? Okay. They're asking you this question or the both of us?
Me or you? Let's just play it like they're asking both of us.
Probably, no one's going to like my answer.
What are you going to say?
Sorry, guys. Space Mountain in Walt Disney World.
Well, they do overlay that in Disneyland, so. But yeah, I agree. That's a good one not to do it. I think, you know what I think? Pirates or Haunted Mansion. One of those two they should never touch.
Yeah. Like
there's a lot of attractions. Like even Walt said, there's going to be changes, right? Like Disneyland is never going to be the same. We're always going to keep moving forward and making changes and improving. But Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean, never touch.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I guess I forgot about the holiday overlays. I don't really count those that much. I'm thinking more of like changes than anything else.
All right, next question here. If you could go to one Disney park for the rest of your life, which one would you choose?
I know what Bruce's answer is.
What do you think I'm going to say?
You're going to say Disneyland.
100% Disneyland.
That's the one park forever and ever?
If I had to choose one park to go to forever, Disneyland. It's got all the great attractions. It's got all the great food.
It does have the great food.
It's in California, so the weather is a little bit better in Anaheim than it is in Orlando consistently throughout the year.
California dreaming.
So yeah, 100%. Disneyland's my place. That's where I'm going. If I had to choose one, it's Disneyland.
What do you think I'm going to choose?
I feel like you're either going to choose Epcot or Disneyland.
You are right. Those are my two babies.
Yeah. I knew you were going to do one of those.
Those are my favorites. But I love California so much. I love the energy over there. The cast members, the performances, they're just a whole nother level. I just love it. And the food.
Yeah, the food, the snacks and food in Disneyland can't be beat.
Being a tourist that I am, food is life. So, okay.
What is your favorite Disney park moment? Do you have a favorite Disney park moment that you think back on when you're home?
Yeah, there are several, but I think it's hard because they're all there. I have several that are in different categories. Like, so I have a favorite Disney park moment with my mom and dad, and then I have a favorite moment with our kids being young, and then older. Because as they grow, you find like new things, and it's never the same kind of experience, which I like. But it's always probably going to be the time where we really came up with, or I like to say I came up with it because I was the one that called everybody out on it. We were kind of bickering, and we were at Magic Kingdom in front of the castle, and I was like, guys, let's not worry about what attraction we're going on. Let's agree here and to just be in the moment. And that's really where it kind of all came full circle for me.
Yeah, one of my favorite moments of us at the park was, obviously I didn't go as a kid, so I don't have too many memories with my parents or as a kid. The first time we went to the Polynesian, we weren't staying there. We just kind of experienced resort hopping, as they say.
It was much easier back in the day too.
It was a lot easier to kind of just park and go. There wasn't all this stuff going on. And we were just kind of hanging out at the Polynesian. Our kids were little, and we were looking around and saying to ourselves, wow, this resort is unbelievable. Like, we're staying at the Nickelodeon Hotel, and this Polynesian resort over here is unbelievable.
R.I.P. Nick Hotel. That was actually pretty fun.
The kids liked it when they were little, but I remember that moment of sitting on the beach, you know, with a little mocktail with the girls and just kind of hanging out and being like, the next time I stay at Disney, my goal is to stay here.
It was more about, wow, like everybody around here is just so chill. Like everybody just seemed to be having such a good time. The castle was like glistening from the distance. And it just remembered the sense of calm that I didn't know existed at Disney World. I just thought it was always intense, like park and excitement. And I didn't realize how you could go and really feel like you're having a full Disney experience by just going to the resort itself. So that's really what changed things as well. So I love that too. Lots of stuff, lots of changes, lots of great. We're really, really fortunate to have a bunch of memories to choose from.
All right, next one. Bruce, would you ever go to Disney solo? No, I would rather die. Would you go solo?
Heck yes. And I know your answer, you would never know. You would never go alone. I don't know what would happen for you to even.
I may meet you there. Like, say you went to Disney, right? Like, not in a plane. Like, you were at the hotel. Maybe I got something to do and you're going and I'll meet you there. But there's not a chance I would go to Disney and hang out alone.
No, not a chance. You don't even do that. Like, if you're.
I don't even like to be home alone.
Yeah. And it's like sitting down and kind of enjoying yourself, people watching. Like, you wouldn't do that alone either. You would want somebody to be with you.
Yeah, for sure.
It just gets weird.
Not
I don't
doing
know.
that.
Okay.
All right, next question. This one's obviously at me. I got my I like pizza in 3 people shirt on, link below if you want to buy some of these. We also have I like Dole Whips in 3 people. We also have a whole bunch of other shirts on our UTM store, so the link will be below if you want that. But this has to do with that. It says best pizza you've ever had. So I like pizza. I visit a lot of pizza shops. Connie, you come with me all the time.
I'm so lucky.
So the best pizza, I'm going to give you a couple because there's a lot of them that I enjoy and a lot of them are great.
There's only one answer for me lately.
What's the answer?
Well, I saw that you posted the answer on Instagram and it was Blue Square.
Yes.
Pizza, that's near us. Well, not near us, but.
It's in Hopkinton, Massachusetts.
It's like kind of it's worth the drive.
But it's definitely, they have Detroit style, they have grandma style, which is cooked in a cookie sheet, flattened out, a little bit thinner than a Detroit style, and then they have a New York style. Amazing pizza.
You forgot I'm giving them a plug. They make their pizza out of sourdough.
They do.
And it's amazing.
So that's one of my favorites. Also, Pizzeria di Farfalla in Chicago was amazing.
Oh, we're going out of state now.
Yeah, I'm going everywhere. There's people listen to this podcast all over the place. You didn't tell me that.
You said it was local. I was going to say.
No way. I didn't say anything about local. I said best pizza you've ever had.
Oh.
Period.
Well,
actually, question mark.
Okay. So continue. Sorry. I don't want to interrupt.
Go ahead.
No, your answers are Blue Square, the Chicago place that we had.
And actually in Orlando, Pizza Bruno.
I was just going to say.
College Park one where he has the New Jersey style pizza. That's a really good pizza. So those are my top 3. If you're in Chicago, the Boston area, or Orlando, visit those. Also, there's a couple in LA that I enjoy too.
I always tell Bruno, I compare everyone's pizzas to yours now and see whether or not they can get better or not. Bruno needs to get closer to Disney World so we can send customers his way.
That's true. All right, next question. Best way to stay at a resort on the cheap. You know what I mean?
Wait, they're asking you.
Yes. What's that over there?
Make sure it's loud.
Pull the old, what's that over there? What's that over there? And kind of just go in. Or, you know what I always say? Find some rich friends.
That's the best advice. It's like finding a friend with a pool.
I have room for one friend. I'm still looking for that one really rich friend. So if you are watching this video and you are that one really rich friend, you know what I mean?
We could be besties.
Yeah. All right, next question. Connie, this is directed at you. Most and least favorite resort to stay at?
Walt Disney World Resort?
Yes.
Okay. Answer for me. What do you think it is?
I think your least favorite is probably Pop Century or something like that.
Meh, that's wrong.
Okay, what is it?
It's not Pop Century. How dare you? Don't you know me?
What is it?
I love the eras and the changes and everything. I would say if I had to choose, which I don't, you should start with that. Say Connie doesn't like to pick out, anything negative. I would probably go with, this one's hard. I'd probably go with All-Star Sports.
Okay, yeah, I guess you're not a sports person.
I like to think I am when I'm playing around with the kids, but I'm really terrible at sports. So,
And your favorite?
My favorite is, I have two. Very, very. It's hard now. Polynesian's always up there, and I love Port Orleans French Quarter so much.
Yeah, those are my two favorites.
So good.
My least favorite is any of the values. Other than Riverside. Riverside I like.
Riverside.
But any of like the Pop Century, All-Star Sports, movies, it's not so much that the resorts are bad because they're great resorts, but there's a lot of people, the pool areas are loud. It's just not my scene.
Well, I like the energy. I'm a little opposite. I understand how you feel but by the way, Riverside's not value, just so we're made clear.
It is to me.
It's moderate. I don't want to get people confused. But I'm usually with you and we have to agree. So, French Quarter it is.
All right. So there you go. I don't think you could even have a least favorite resort. You love them all.
They're all amazing. Being on property is pretty amazing. Some of the things that I've been noticing lately, people are saying, how do I save money? I want to go to Walt Disney World. How are the Good Neighbor hotels? Pretty good. I just think that some of the fees that you can tack on, like parking and all these little kind of expenditures, you kind of have to weigh what you really want. Really liking the Universal resorts lately.
Yeah, me too. I like those way more than I thought.
Yeah.
All right, next question here. This is a good question. This says, you're doing a resort day. All 3 meals at resorts. Where are you eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner? I'm going to go first. Can I?
It's your show, too.
All right, so
it's your show, too.
I'm staying at the Polynesian. I'm eating breakfast at the Kona.
Yep.
Getting Tonga toast with the Spam on the side. I'm going to eat lunch at Captain Cook's. And then I'm going to eat dinner at Ohana. Is there a better choice than that?
Pretty easy. I'm going to say I'm with you with breakfast at Kona. Got to get the Tonga toast. Got to get the whole poly vibe going, kind of hanging out, getting full belly. Then for lunch, Captain Cook's is also a good one. This is a tough one.
You got to pick a resort that has 3 good choices because you're eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner there.
Yeah.
So, like the beach club and the yacht club are great resorts, great pool, but the quick service, average at best.
Yeah, but they have Cape Mays.
That's true, but I don't like. Not that I don't like it, but it's not my favorite.
Got it.
When I'm thinking about breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the resort, like the Polynesian screams at me.
So, but then I'm like, okay, but the French Quarter also, you can wake up and get some beignets. Then you can get a po' boy for lunch, right? Mix it up.
True.
Then you get the Scat Cat.
That's
Club
true. So
after.
that could be your choice. There you go. That's your choice.
Okay.
All right, here we go. Ready? How did you and Connie meet?
Oh, we're friends from work.
Yeah, that's right. We met at work long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
I'm fast and she's weird.
That's
what we like to say.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys rope drop?
Disneyland.
Definitely Disneyland. We obviously depends on the day, right? I think rope dropping depends on what your day looks like and what you want to get out of it, who you're with. Sometimes when we go with friends, like they want to rope drop because they haven't been as much as we have, and we want to do that. But it depends. I think we have for sure. Disneyland is amazing to rope drop though because you can get a whole bunch of things done early in the morning.
Same with Walt Disney World, but I just think that it's a different animal. If I really like for Walt Disney World, I like rope dropping. I like rope dropping Epcot more than any other park for some reason. We're always there super early, but yeah, for the most part, if we're rope dropping, it's always Disneyland.
You know what I like about rope dropping Epcot?
What?
It's not till 9.
That might be the better advantage, and it's a lot easier to get to Epcot. Whereas rope dropping Magic Kingdom, there's a longer process to get over there. And as much as I love a pretty empty Tomorrowland, the process to get over there, it's quite intense, especially with teenagers at the hotel.
Can I say that going to and leaving the Magic Kingdom is the worst experience of your Disney trip?
This is where you gotta, okay, I understand it's crowded and everything, but look at it like the way when we went to Jamaica for the first time, right? So we got to go, we did this unlocking sandals and beaches. It was really amazing. But when you get to the airport and then in order to go to the resort, it's about an hour and a half drive through the country. And I'll never forget, our tour guide said, instead of looking at it as transportation from one way to the other to the destination, look at the journey. Like you can see it's like a free excursion. You get.
Oh, they said that? I'm out. Have you ever gone to the Magic Kingdom? If that's talking like someone who's never gone to the Magic Kingdom at road
No,
trip.
it's so fun, and you get to go on the monorail or you get to ride the ferry.
I agree. Going to Magic Kingdom on non-peak hours is fun. I said going in the morning or leaving when it's closed. Awful experience.
Just think.
Just putting that out there.
Think it's how you look at it.
It is. I look at it like there's a whole lot of people over there, and I'm frightened.
All right.
All right, next one. How are you feeling about the recent updates or announcements at D23?
A lot of stuff. We did an episode about some of it, of whether we're in or out of the news. I think there's just a lot.
Yeah, I think the best answer for that is just to go listen to the podcast we did.
Okay.
I'll link it up below because like everything that we want to talk about,
was easy.
We did there.
Okay.
So if you want to like hear our thoughts on that, it's a little bit more drawn out than just this. You can listen to the whole thing. I'll link the podcast in the show notes if you're listening to this on Spotify or YouTube or wherever you are.
I guess because it is a long, kind of drawn out answer that we wouldn't have nearly enough time to answer.
Right. The show would be 4 hours long.
Yeah, you're right.
All right, next one. Headed to Disneyland today. Well, congratulations. I'm jealous.
Oh, I am jealous.
What's the best thing I should eat?
Ooh, hot and steamy.
I said, this is what I said. See if you agree, because I did respond to this on Instagram.
You didn't say hot and steamy?
I did.
Oh.
I said the breakfast hot and steamy.
Okay.
I also, the beignets.
Obviously.
And a mint julep. And then, like if you can get into the Club 33, that's not bad either.
My answer to that question would be definitely beignets. I would do the Mickey beignets for breakfast with a coffee. I would hold the mint julep for later because it's very sweet. Doesn't really go with the beignet.
No, it doesn't. It's like a separate thing.
Yeah. But then I would do for dinner, I would do the hot and steamy because I like those better at night. I don't know why. And
okay.
And for lunch, I mean, you can eat. There's just so much food in Disney. It's so basic, but their sourdough grilled cheese with tomato soup is so good.
The breakfast chimichangas sell out pretty quick. The last couple times we've gone to Disneyland, the chimichangas sell out.
Keep talking about the hot and steamies. Everybody wants to try them.
Wait, I said chimichanga. Sorry. I don't want to get in trouble. I'm from Boston, though.
I guess Anthony Bourdain was also from Boston because that's how he said it.
Well, he's from New York and New Jersey. We're all us Northeasterners say it like that.
Okay,
all right, all right, next question. Thoughts on Monsters, Inc. Land? Again, talked about it in the episode that we did D23. I'm excited for it, depending on where it's going.
There's a lot of rumors of where it would be. There's a lot of speculation. It's hard to really determine what is factual until we actually see it.
There's a lot of questions in here about D23. I'm going to refer to all of those to go listen to that podcast.
But one thing I want to note about the D23 and the announcements, what I really want to do is just like appreciate the now and find the good things now versus waiting. Like it is exciting to think about the future, of course, but I don't want it to take away from what's there now and like feel like it's not good enough.
What she means is she'll believe when she sees it.
I just don't want to be let down. So
Disney's like a company that likes to talk a lot.
I mean, I get that. I get excited. You get excited too, Bruce. Like we say a lot of things and it's like, oh shoot. I mean,
I'm not a multi-billion-dollar company though.
The red tape you got to go through. True. That's all very true.
I mean, one of the questions here was, where do you see UTM in 5 years? Maybe a multi-billion-dollar corporation. And we can over-promise and under-deliver. That might be a good way to do it.
That's funny.
All right, next one. All the new... let's see again. Disney D23. Go check that out. This one's obviously directed at me. Thoughts on breakfast pizza? I dig it.
We make it at home.
I love breakfast pizza.
It's really good.
Super underrated style of pizza.
Yeah.
What did you eat before Tonga toast?
What did you eat?
I used to not eat breakfast.
You did,
I am not a breakfast person, believe it or not. Even though I talk about Tonga toast all the time, breakfast is not something I like to eat. I generally wait to eat till lunch. So before Tonga toast, I just had coffee and skipped breakfast. And then I discovered this amazing thing called Tonga toast. I can't eat it every day because it is pretty filling.
That's so funny that you mentioned that because now that I'm thinking about it, you definitely never eat breakfast. And the thing that turned you was Tonga toast. And now you look forward to the hot and steamies when we're in Disneyland.
That's true. I do like those.
Or beignets. But if those three weren't an option, no, wait a minute. I stand corrected.
What's that?
The oatmeal. at the resort.
Oh, the Kona oatmeal is pretty good.
It's so good. It's such a basic thing, but it's so delicious.
It's such an old man thing to say.
It's like, I don't know, it's hearty. It sticks to your ribs and it gives you like the energy you need to get through the morning without worrying about what to eat. I don't like that sometimes. Like, I don't like feeling the hangries and then also like wanting to get on attractions or see lands when they're kind of empty. So
right.
That bugs me.
All right, next one. What is one note Disney could take from Universal to be better? This is a great one. And one Universal could take from Disney. What a great question.
That is a great question.
All right, so I have been thinking, obviously I've seen these before you did, so I have been thinking about this a little bit. One thing that Disney could take from Universal.
You're so prepared.
I'm prepared.
Okay.
Is I think Disney could be a little less corporate with their social media in the way they talk to their consumers. Now, I know Universal's a different company, but if you follow Universal on social media, they're very fun and playful.
Yeah.
I think Disney could do a little bit of, I feel like Disney is always on the defensive, where Universal's on the offensive. Universal's trying to be out there and be fun and be playful, almost like what Disney was 15 to 20 years ago. And Disney's so concerned about what to say, they don't want to say the wrong thing or upset the wrong person, that they don't say anything interesting.
It is kind of boring and flat.
And I don't mean interesting like you want to be controversial, because I know it's a family company and I don't want to see that either.
Right.
But what I mean is like be fun and playful, like make fun of yourself a little bit.
Yeah, I can see where they're trying to differentiate themselves. Like I think that there's a crossroad, right? Because they are a luxury product, and it's hard for them to kind of see themselves any different. But I think there was like this really fun era in the 90s where, you know, things like Lion King were coming out. There's so many different things that they were doing. And I think if they can kind of go back to that, it would be, I think, really good.
And I think Universal could take from Disney, and I think they are, like the storytelling aspect of their attractions, not just make them rides or screen rides, like tell a little bit more of a story.
I think they are.
I know. I think that's happening recently, but I think that's a recent change for them. And especially with Epic Universe coming out, I think they're really diving into like the story behind the characters that they have.
Yeah. And
I think they could also look at Disney's mistakes. Like, don't make everything about a certain IP. Like, not everything has to be an IP. Like Haunted Mansion and Pirates of the Caribbean, when they were created, wasn't something that had IP attached to it.
That I can see twofold, right? So it's like you want to attract customers and people to come in and guests to see your product. And obviously the IP helps because they get familiarized themselves. But then it becomes like too commercialized, and nobody likes that.
Right. So I think that Universal could learn both of those things from Disney, good and bad.
All right.
Okay, next question.
Meanwhile, there's a lot of things Disney announced at the D23 that is kind of based on the IP.
True.
So I don't know.
Well, I'm okay with stuff. I'm okay with certain things like that, but I also think like they should let their talent use that talent that they have to tell different stories.
It's like with any movie, right? Where's the heart?
Right.
If they could just remember that with a building of anything new, just remember where the heart, like what's the heart? Like where is the story? Where is that? And I think the rest will kind of unfold naturally. I don't think they have to work so hard. Maybe. Right?
Right.
Okay.
I agree.
Next question. I'm ready. I'm prepared now.
Harry Potter must-dos at Universal Florida.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, obviously I love the food. It's weird because for the longest time I didn't love Universal's food, and I strongly believe they really dove deep in this and really made things better because it's so much better. And I love their ice cream, their chocolate chili.
That's great.
Oh, it's like, that's probably if we say there's a must-do when we go to Universal and go into and see Wizarding World of Harry Potter, that's what we're doing. Like, we're getting an ice cream.
You're right. I think if you are a true Harry Potter fan, you got to visit both destinations and then take the train across.
Wow.
Like, get a listen, hold on. I'm not taking the train across. But if you are a Harry Potter fan and you watch the movies and you read the books, you got to take the train back and forth. Get a multi-park pass, and you can do that.
I don't want to be rude, but I hate to break it to you. If I'm taking the train, you're taking the train.
That's true. I think you got to do it all. 3 broomsticks, the Leaky Cauldron, Hagrid's. You got to do all of it. If you're a true Harry Potter fan, you could probably spend the day at each land in each park the whole day.
But if you're asking us what the must-do is, it's the chocolate chili ice cream, and it's just chilling out and just looking through the windows and really just hanging out. And then going to Hagrid's.
You know what I like to do?
Those are my two. Yeah.
I like to take video of all the people taking videos waiting for the dragon to spit fire. That's hilarious. They're all sitting there like with their photos up there for 20 minutes. Is it going to be now? Is it going to be now? Is it going to be now? Is it going to be now?
That needs to be studied.
That's funny. Yeah, to me, that's pretty funny.
Okay.
All right. We got a couple more questions here.
Yes.
Thoughts on D23 announcement? We had that. How do you get your Disney fix at home, Constantina?
A lot of Disney movies, a lot of Disney music, a lot of Disney references. For example, our daughter plays softball, and I probably spent way too much time thinking about a Disney walk-up song based on everybody on her team.
That's true.
You know, stuff like that is how I just find the magic at home. I kind of go overboard.
I do whatever she does.
There's like 13, 14 girls on the team. They all now have a Disney. They didn't even ask, but I did it anyways. Keep going.
All right, last one.
Okay.
How many times have you guys been to Disneyland? Not a lot.
Not as many as it may seem, but enough where I think we're very, very fortunate.
Definitely, yeah. We've been like a handful of times, 5 or 6 times maybe, and a lot in the last few years.
Yeah.
Definitely the last few years of doing this podcast, and really, I think too, once you get to Disneyland, if you're a true Disney World fan, once you get to Disneyland, you realize that's where it all started, and like you try to do your best to get back there as much as possible.
I think our first time was at the D23 in 2017, I want to say.
It was.
Right around then, and it changed a lot of things. I think the first visit wasn't the greatest. I don't know if I've ever talked about this on a podcast episode, but our first visit was like opposite of what I tell everybody to do, like, you know, be in the moment and everything. I was overwhelmed. It's weird because it's a small park and it's not, but
there's so much condensed into that small area though.
But we also didn't stay on property, so there was just a whole bunch of like moving wheel, like just a lot of moving parts that we had to figure out in order to get to the park, where to stay and all that. Plus you're in Anaheim, and we landed in LAX, which I just love now that I know how to kind of navigate it. I wish I knew a little bit more before, or studied a little more before going, or had somebody to help me. I really just kind of thought you could just show up, which you kind of can, but California is a big state.
It is.
And people drive fast, and everybody seems to know where they're going. So anyway.
Disneyland's my favorite park though.
It's a great park. I
love everything about it.
I love everything about it. I absolutely adore just being able to see Walt's apartment from Main Street. And of course, New Orleans Square is it's just hard to even describe on the show. Like, it's just something you just have to go there, smell it, and just be there. It's just awesome.
All right. Question of the show.
Okay.
Here's how we're going to do this. We have this little thing called merch.
We have merch.
And we are going to give away a t-shirt. We're going to choose the t-shirt, but we'll ask you your size. It's going to be a surprise.
Is it going to be Goblin Queen?
It might. One of the t-shirts over at clubutm.co. You can go check out all our merch there. You don't have to be a member. You can just get some merch if you want. We try to keep it prices really low too, like just what it costs, so we can get them out there and just see you in the parks. It's fun like that.
There's also so there's like Disney-based shirts, Universal-based shirts. There's just regular Halloween-y shirts.
Yeah.
So whatever's your thing, you probably might find.
Question of the show. What are you most excited or disappointed about coming to Walt Disney World announced at D23? I want to leave it in the comments below. We'll pick one person who comments. It's got to comment like the first week this comes out though, because
it'll be a random way we choose it, right?
Yeah. There's like these things on YouTube where you can just put it in and like it'll be like a comment selector. It just randomizes it. No purchase necessary, by the way. You don't have to purchase anything to be part of this. You just have to be hanging out with here on YouTube. Like the video, leave a comment so we know you're there, because that's how we're going to choose the winner. How's that sound?
It sounds great.
So do that. Again, the question is, what are you most excited about or most disappointed in from the announcements at the D23 Expo in 2024?
You said most, like I say.
I know. I'm most disappointed about Tom Sawyer Island, but you can hear that on the podcast link below.
Yeah.
We also have a podcast. So thank you so much for tuning into the podcast. That's Constantina. I'm Bruce. We'll see you right back here next week.
Bye, everybody.